Well, thanks so much, Rob. And we're going to take you to the nation's capital now, because it has been 9 years since former footballer Senzo Meyiwa was murdered in Vosloorus in Ekurhuleni. And this happened, of course, at the home of his girlfriend, Kelly Khumalo, in 2014. But since then, 5 men have been accused of the murder, and they are currently on trial in the Gauteng North High Court in Pretoria. So for more on the latest and also what's happening outside court, we cross now to our reporter Chriselda Lewis, who's been on this beat for us here at SABC. Chriselda, good morning. So I would imagine that today, as a landmark day since the passing of Senzo Meyiwa, it's been 9 years. What's happening there?
Day for the Meyiwa family, 9 years on. As you indicated, on this day back in 2014 was the day that soccer star Senzo Meyiwa was shot and killed at the home of his then girlfriend, the mother's home, in fact, of his then girlfriend, Kelly Khumalo. And of course, 9 years on, we're still in the courts trying to establish or trying to piece together what really happened on the day that Senzo Meyiwa was killed. It's been a daunting 9 years for the family. We've spoken to the family over the past couple of years, and all that they've been calling for ultimately is justice. And they say the only thing that will mean closure for them is to know what happened on that day. They say those that were inside the house on the day that Senzo Meyiwa was killed should tell this court what really happened there. And of course, we have heard from previous witnesses that were inside the house on the day that Meyiwa was killed basically tell this court that there were 2 alleged intruders that had entered the house on that day demanding cell phones and money as well. And ultimately, Senzo Meyiwa was shot and killed. We heard from them, and of course, then ultimately now, we have 5 people who are in the dock for their alleged involvement in the death of Senzo Meyiwa. Well, they contend that they know nothing about what has happened there. We've seen, some of the witnesses that have taken the stand include police officers, some neighbors, those that were inside the house at the time that Senzo Meyiwa was killed, his close friends amongst those individuals. And now, at this particular stage, Sakina, we are within a trial within a trial, and that trial within a trial basically is, to establish or to determine if the alleged confessions that were made by some of the accused should be admissible in the main trial. You would know that the bone of contention on the part of the defense, they're saying that their clients had basically deposed of these statements, or were even given prepared documents under duress. They were assaulted, they were beaten. This is, of course, what the defense is contending. So that's where we are at this particular stage in terms of the trial itself. But here behind me, you would see that community groups have also come, and on this day of significance, they stand here, they say, together with the family of Senzo Meyiwa. Quite critical that they come back on this day. You would see this banner does say 9 years, no justice. Our justice system is failing the victims of crimes. Enough is enough. So these are community organizations that are not here for the first time. They've been here before, and essentially what they're saying is that they're not going to get tired of coming to show support for the Meyiwa family. The Meyiwa family has not been here for quite a while. I did speak to them a couple of days ago, and they said that it's quite unlikely that they will return to the court round about this time. They will return perhaps when those that were inside the house at the time that Senzo Meyiwa was killed would possibly come back. What we've heard from the state as well, that indicated that they have no intention, at least that was at that time, to call Kelly Khumalo, who was the then girlfriend of Senzo Meyiwa. So you would know that the defense also indicating that if that is the case, and what is likely to happen is that when the state concludes its case and has not called who the defense believes is a critical aspect in this matter, the then girlfriend of Senzo Meyiwa, to come and tell this court what happened on that day, because the defense says he was there on account of her. it was his girlfriend at the time. So they believe, I guess then, that she should be the one to be amongst those that were inside the house to be called in this particular matter. You would know that one of those that was called was Kelly Khumalo, who is the sister to Kelly Khumalo. She was also inside the house. Tumelo Madlala, a very close friend of Senzo Meyiwa, was also called. He was also inside the house. Mthokozisi Atwala, also inside the house. He was also called in this particular matter. But I want to speak to this community organization, the South African Mass Movement, Mzuvele, who's been outside this court multiple times. But Mzu, thank you very much for your time. Quite critical, I guess, today, a day of significance. We sit in this court this morning and listen to continuing cross-examination and even testimony. It's 9 days today that Senzo Meyiwa was killed. Let's talk about the significance first of you being here on this day as the SA Mass Movement.
First of all, we are here because this is the day when Senzo Meyiwa lost his fundamental right, the right to life. So we are here to say, we hear the stories, but these stories are not getting us closer to justice. That must be clear, because we see the constitution that is protecting criminals. There are people who are supposed to be here, they are not here. They're supposed to tell us what happened in that house. They are not here. Why? So this guy lost his fundamental right. Yet this constitution is failing this guy. And it's going to fail me as well. It's going to fail all of us if we don't stand up. 9 years is totally unacceptable. We stand here, this guy lost his life. This is not a goalkeeper. This is not something else. This is a person. This is a father. This is not a soccer star. This is a father. This is a husband. This is a son. I want to bring the human aspect to this, not the law aspect. Because here we are lectured by the law, but the law failed this guy.
Very quickly, Babumzu, you feel that over the past 9 years, not much is we're not any closer to knowing what happened to Senzo Meyiwa. Just very quickly, we've run out of time.
No, we are not closer until people who are in that house come clean and tell us what happened. Why are some people not there? Why? So it's just a waste of time. And we must not be surprised when these people walk free. Thank you.
Mzuvele, who's with the South African Mass Movement there, just one of the organizations that has been outside this court on a number of occasions, Sakina. Significant, they say, on this particular day, 9 years on, bound to be a very painful day for the Meyiwas as they remember their loved one. This morning, Sakina, we are still dealing within this trial, within a trial. At the point at which we are in now, another police officer is on the stand this morning, and he's the police officer who is alleged to have taken the first confession of accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi. You would know, what we do know at this stage is that the state contends that Bongani Ntanzi had basically deposed of 2 confessions, one on the 14th of June of 2020, and the other at a later stage. We've heard of the other one, that pertaining, of course, to the testimony of Magistrate Vivian Cronier, who had taken the second alleged confession. So the one that we're dealing with at the moment pertains to the alleged first confession that was made by accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi. What we heard in brief yesterday, and that's where we will pick up from this morning, we heard that police officer basically say that Bongani Ntanzi's rights were read to him and that he was under no duress at the time that he deposed of the statement, and that while he had been asked if he wanted a lawyer, he indicated that he didn't want one. Of course, this is on the version of the current police officer who is on the stand. We're certainly likely to hear more about this alleged confession, but the defense indicating yesterday that they are opposing this alleged confession on the basis that they believe that it was solicited out of duress, and their client was assaulted and handed a filled-in document, if I can, for their client to sign. Proceedings start once again at 10 o'clock this morning.